In a major development in the ongoing tariff tensions with the US, the European Union has delayed its retaliatory tariffs on American goods, in the hope that a last-minute trade deal with the Trump administration can be hammered out before the August 1st deadline. Now, this comes after the US President Donald Trump fired his biggest trade salvo, a 30% tariff on a range of European goods, targeting everything from auto parts to luxury items. Earlier, Trump didn't mince words and declared that his tariff blitz is raking in big bucks for America. You see, the message to the rest of the world is clear. Trump is doubling down on what he calls America First economics, and the rest of the world better get in line. But the European bloc isn't throwing in the towel. Not just yet. It has decided to suspend its retaliatory tariffs for now in what EU officials are calling a diplomatic window. They're still hopeful a deal with the US can be struck by August 1st. But behind the scenes, tensions are flaring.
Yes, indeed, the United States have sent us a letter with measures that would come into effect unless there is a negotiated solution. So we will therefore also extend the suspension of our countermeasures till early August. And at the same time, we will continue to prepare further countermeasures so we are fully prepared. So we have, as you know, a two-track approach. It's very important. We have always been very clear that we prefer a negotiated solution. This remains the case, and we will use the time that we have now till the 1st of August. And on the second track, since the very beginning, we have worked and now are ready to respond with countermeasures. We've prepared for this, and we can respond with countermeasures if necessary. So this two-track approach pays off because we are prepared. As you know, we have prepared and agreed on a first list of countermeasures. We have developed a second potential list of countermeasures that is by now agreed to. And the ACI is created for extraordinary situations. We are not there yet. This is very important. This is now the time for negotiations, but this also shows we are prepared for all eventual scenarios.
It's worth recalling that these tariffs aren't just abstract numbers. A 30% duty on European cars and machinery could ripple through economies from Berlin to Bordeaux. It could also significantly spike consumer prices, disrupt global supply chains, and potentially ignite a new trade war, one that could echo all the way to Wall Street.
We are very close to an agreement. I mean, we have been negotiating this agreement in principles for weeks, and I think that we've been almost there. And of course, there have been some sectoral issues upon which we've been negotiating. So my sense was we are approaching, the good outcome for both sides. I appreciate, though, that I was getting the heads up just before the letter was coming. And of course, I clearly recorded my disappointment about this measure because it puts us into a totally different dynamic. But nevertheless, I felt also from my United States counterparts that despite that letter, they are ready to continue the negotiations. We, of course, will use that opportunity because I'm absolutely 100% sure that negotiated solution is much better than the tension which we might have after the 1st of August if we will not land this one. 30% or anything about 30%. So eventually any additional counteraction from the United States, it has more or less the same effect. So it's practically it prohibits the trade. So if you're talking about 30% or 30% plus, there will be a huge impact on trade. It will be almost impossible to continue the trading as we are used in a transatlantic relationship. And if you look at the impact this would have, so I have to say the transatlantic supply chains would be heavily affected on both sides of Atlantic. We are showing this enormous patience, enormous creativity to find the solutions. But if it stays 30 plus, simply the trading as we know it will not continue with a huge negative effect on both sides of the Atlantic. And therefore, I think we have to do, and I will definitely do everything I can to prevent this super negative scenario.
This isn't the first round of tariff drama between the US and the EU. In 2020, the US imposed steel and aluminum tariffs. The EU responded by placing duties on US goods like wine and motorcycles. So for now, the EU holds fire. But the next few days could define the future of US-EU trade. To stay updated with what's happening around the globe, keep watching Mint.